Hi, this is Arthur Carmazzi, best-selling author and currently ranked as the #4 thought leader in the world in organizational culture. And I am super excited to be part of the Inform and Inspire series by Yardstick Marketing and Right Selection. Today, I'm going to talk to you about performance measurement, management, and motivation. And, well, basically how this is going to affect your organizational culture even in a COVID-19 situation. So first, let's look at what exactly performance measurement is and how it actually can be used for motivation. Let's look at the traditional annual review. When people are usually getting very excited and motivated to do exceptionally well about a month before the annual review, well, that's not necessarily the best situation for keeping people motivated and engaged. Now, even if you have annual reviews at a, well, basically quarterly basis, it's still going to not really maintain the high level of engagement that people really need in order to really achieve big things. So let's look at Facebook and Instagram, a different type of performance measurement. Why? Well, because they are essentially measuring your performance at entertaining your audience. And of course, your life and everything that goes with it, at least the Facebook and Instagram version, is the subject. So what Facebook has done is they've essentially gamified your life, because we often find ourselves checking how many likes we got and how many comments we got and even how many shares we got, which of course makes us even more excited. So how do we apply this to performance measurement? Well, performance essentially is related to KPIs and objectives. Now, if you're waiting to get to that KPI, you're waiting to get to that objective, well, basically, people are less patient now because, well, we're in the age of instant messages, instant everything. And of course, when you're less patient, you're just not really focusing on all of the elements that are really going to support that end result. You're doing your job, sure, but are you super excited about it? Are you literally finding all these different ways, and is your brain heightened to the point of being able to be innovative and proactive? Well, not necessarily, because those KPIs and objectives seem a little bit far away, and the process to get there doesn't give you the instant emotional gratification that, well, as human beings, we look for. So what do? We find other ways to give us that little instant gratification, which basically means we use up a lot of our time doing things that are, well, less important and not necessarily achieving the bigger picture. But what if each of those bigger objectives, each of those bigger KPIs were reverse engineered into behaviors? But if we can measure those behaviors that are going to lead to that higher level of performance, and we can gamify it, then what you're doing is you're creating an environment of measurement and managing the performance, because you're based on behaviors and you are creating motivated individuals on a daily basis. To get people excited about exhibiting those behaviors that will ultimately lead to those KPIs, we use an app called Squadly. Squad with a L-I. And this app basically allows you to specifically identify the behaviors, and anytime you catch somebody doing those behaviors in the right way, you can give them little emoji and you can give them awards. And of course, you connect it to the specific behavior with a little 140 character statement that indicates what exactly they did. Now, the entire data point takes less than 20 seconds. And the best part is that we often find that there are a certain group of people that are always going to be higher performers than others, and that kind of demotivates the other people. So what you have is, by measuring different behaviors and having different lists. You can actually get somebody on the innovation list that they're in maybe the top 10, and you've got somebody on the main list that they're the top 10. But if somebody is on the behavior list or on the innovation list, they're going to be, wow, maybe I can still go up because I'm already in the top 10 here. So they might not be on the main list, but they're going to be excited. Why? Because they're already on a list. So that means that you are able to get people excited regardless of their competency, so that they can essentially become competent in all of the different elements. And of course, it can be reset like every week or every month, depending on how you do it, so that it is situated in such a way where everybody always has a chance. If not this week, it's next week. So what you're essentially doing is setting people up for success. But then there's also people who, well, may not be exhibiting the correct behaviors, and in fact may be kind of damaging the outcomes of the group, or for that matter, their own personal success. And you can identify this in a fun way by these little negative emojis and show how the anti-behaviors. For example, if you have a behavior of being innovative and somebody is essentially blaming other people, creating an environment where it's not safe to be innovative, well, then you can give them a feedback that gives them negative points, which means they don't get on the list, but you can attach it to some fun comments that are also going to help that person to move to the next level by having the positive behaviors and overcome that negative. So by applying the behavior measurement strategy, you're able to measure behaviors on a daily basis. And remember, this takes less time than a WhatsApp message. So it is easy for a top-down type of measurement, a 360 measurement, and even a peer-to-peer measurement system where you can separate all of the different types of measurement and see how people are rating each other, how the manager or leaders are measuring the subordinates, and how the subordinates are measuring the leaders, all in the line with the behaviors that will ultimately achieve your objectives. So here's the recap. People are not really excited until the very end of measuring their KPIs and ultimate objectives. So if we reverse engineer those objectives into behaviors, we are able to measure on a daily basis, which keeps people excited and motivated regularly. And this is going to lead to the ultimate achievement of those KPIs. And remember, in a COVID-19 situation, we can do that for communication, we can do it for teamwork, we can get teams together and have fun in the process. This is Arthur Carmazzi wishing you great success.